start the car, get it to operating temperature first. So let's go ahead and do that. Right, so before you check anything, make sure the engine is at operating temperature, and that is important for checking this, because the thing we're going to be checking is definitely related to temperature. So yeah, if you remember your 90s Hondas where they run coolant, they're like a little thermostat thing for your idle control, and you know, when that thing goes bad, it kind of surges. It's kind of like that. But yeah, so definitely you're gonna run it till, you know, operating temperature, and then we're gonna check. I'm gonna show you how to check it. And if you're wondering how many kilometers this thing has, it has 264,000 kilometers. So yeah, let me just warm this thing up and then take you underneath the hood. And yeah, the door locks. The other issue is this: when you lock the door, it slowly unlocks itself, so it won't stay locked. Very common. All right, so we're pretty much there. A little bit more, but it smells like Dad's cookies in here. Smells nice. Probably because the kids. There's a kid's seat back there. But yeah, if any of you ever had Dad's cookies, those were good. But I think they got rid of it. You can't get them in stores anymore. All right, so taking you underneath the hood, here's the air box right here, and what you're wanting to find is this little hose that goes into this intake tube with that clamp on it. So when you're taking it off, be careful. This pipe here is going to be hot because it has coolant running through it. And yeah, so you're going to pull that off, and then you're going to check if there's vacuum on that side. So you take that out, right, with the car running, right? And let me just grab the hose here for you and show you. So if you put your finger on it and you feel vacuum, as you can hear the RPMs change, right? You can hear that? There's your problem. You just gotta feel the vacuum on the hose. It should be no vacuum there. I don't know how well you can hear that, but there's vacuum there. So you gotta. That's what the problem is. So yeah, here's a better view. So it threads into the intake manifold, and I think down there's coolant running through that lower part of the intake manifold, if I remember correctly. And this is just from vacuum. And then when it heats up, right, that valve closes that, so it doesn't allow vacuum into into the intake, into there, right? And yeah, that's how that works. So yeah, just be careful. It's this is hot, so after you get it to operating temperature, just don't burn yourself. And yeah, that's it. So all right, parts are finally here, and it made it through the snow from Toronto. If you have a 2007 CRV, that's the part number for it. So this is what it looks like. There's this thing. I guess this thing goes into the coolant, right? You might want to put some thread locker or something to seal it from the cooling system from leaking out. So yeah, that's basically it. And you might have trouble getting it out because yeah, you can't. Nobody seems to have a 24mm crow's foot. So what I do is I broke the top off and I broke the side off. It's brittle plastic, so it was already cracking anyways. And what I do is I put 24mm deep socket, and then I'm gonna wrench it off. You got coolant going into your intake, or I guess your lower intake manifold, and that's as the temperature increases, it closes that valve. I guess you can call it for your high idle. And so this is your valve. I don't know if you can see, but you can see light through it, but that's what it looks like on the inside. So as it heats up, it should shut that valve and not let any air bypass into the intake manifold up here. So now, hopefully, the new one, I can just thread it in and it's not going to hit this valve cover. Alright, so it just cleared this valve cover. And I also just put a little bit of Honda Bond on the threads. And wait till that dries and yeah, recheck, make sure it seals when it's warmed up. But Oh yeah, the idle's pretty steady right now, but we're gonna keep checking it and make sure it stays that way. All right, so I'm pretty much done. I also did the door lock actuators, the passenger front and the driver's rear. The customer also said that they at some point they did the passenger rear too. So the only one left is the driver's front. So I always recommend, all of them. But if customers has history of having one replaced, then you don't have to replace that one. What else? So yeah, if you're wondering how I got that valve back in, because I had to break the other one to put a socket on it, I just slowly wrenched it on there, and I used a little bit of Honda Bond on the threads so it doesn't leak, because there's coolant in there. Other than that, I reset the PCM, so the check engine light is gone. And what I'm going to do is I park it outside because it's -10 out there, and I want to do a couple of cold starts and make sure the idle doesn't kind of fluctuate or stumble or surge or stuff like that. So that way I know it's good for sure before I return the car to the customer. And yeah, anyways, I think that's about it. If you have the same issue and you're looking for a fix, maybe try and check this, and yeah, hopefully it helps you. Anyways, I hope you liked the video. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.